Hello everyone, my name is Desna Uli Matanari. My ID number is 210705032. I'm a student from the University of North Sumatra, with subject is English Literature. Now, I want to explain about morphology. And in this video, there are three things that I will explain it. That is definition of morphology, the object of morphology, and the word formation of morphology. First, what is morphology? Morphology comes from morph. It means that form, and logy, it means that science. So simply, morphology is the subdiscipline of linguistics that studies of word form. In the second, the object of morphology is the word. So in the word, we can find the term of morpheme. What is morphemes? Morphemes is the smallest language unit whose meaning is relatively stable and cannot be divided into smaller meaningful parts. So why morpheme is smallest meaningful unit of language? Because it cannot be further divided into smaller units. There are two types of morpheme, that is free morpheme and bound morpheme. Free morpheme is a morpheme that can stand alone, becomes a word, without having to be attached on other morpheme, like adjective, noun, and verb. Free morpheme can be divided into two, that is lexical morpheme and functional or grammatical morpheme. Lexical morpheme is a morpheme that can stand alone, and the content of the message that we make it clear. For example, read, cool, and so on. Whereas functional or grammatical morpheme is a morpheme that can stand alone, and the content of the message is not clear. For example, but, the, see, and so on. The second form of morpheme is bound morpheme. Bound morpheme is a morpheme that cannot be stand alone, but must be attached to another morpheme. Bound morpheme can be divided into two, that is derivational morpheme and inflectional morpheme. Derivational morpheme is a morpheme if attached to another morpheme will be form a new morpheme. For example, the word beautiful. The word beautiful comes from the word beauty is noun, but when the word beauty add full, so becomes beautiful. It means that adjective. So the word beautiful changes from the noun becomes adjective. And two, inflectional morpheme. Inflectional morpheme is a morpheme that, if attached to another morpheme, that are only identify grammar, not to generate a new form, but for identify. For example, the word books. The word books comes from the word book without s, but when we add s to book, becomes books. So the book without s is noun, singular. But when we add s to book, becomes books, is also noun, but becomes plural. So the books is also noun, but for identify grammar, not form a new morpheme or word. So before the word is formed, there are three things that we need to know. That is morph, morpheme, and allomorphs. Morph is part of morpheme, that is abstract. It means that morph is still in our head or our minds and doesn't know the meaning. Morpheme is the smallest language unit and cannot be divided into the smaller units, whereas allomorphs, there are any variant or variation forms of a morpheme. And the third, the word formation of morphology. There are many word formation of morphology. That is 1 compounding, 2 affixation, 3 conversion, 4 proper noun, 5 abbreviation, 6 coinage, 7 reduplication, and 8 borrowings. So, that's all my explanation. Thanks for watching and goodbye.